Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 6, and today we're dealing with the 2014 Porsche 918 Spyder. Now this has been a car that I have been highly anticipating to play on this game, since we already have the 2013 McLaren P1 and the 2013 Ferrari LaFerrari, and those three cars, should I say, are the apex of motoring right now. They are top of their game and top of their class as well, to be honest, and yeah, pretty much unrivaled. So yeah, this has a pretty cracking engine, to be honest, which unfortunately we can't take a direct look at. I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, 4.6 litre V8 engine, producing 887 horsepower and 829 pounds-feet of torque, and it's naturally aspirated as well, though it does get its power from hybrid technology, like all the other two cars that we're going to be comparing this one against. And yeah, this also has all-wheel drive, unlike the other two, which are only rear-wheel drive, and it's a little bit more practical, and it's a little bit more dynamic in what it can do, because it can have its roof removed, which is why it's called a Spyder. So yeah, as you can see, I think this car looks even better with its roof off, which the other two can't do, which might mean be one reason why it's a bit heavier than the other two, because not only does it have its all-wheel drive, but obviously its roof is removable, and that does probably mean it needs a bit more strengthening throughout the body, which is carbon fibre all the way through practically, by the way. But yeah, it does weigh 3,692 pounds, which is 396 pounds more than the McLaren and 661 pounds more than the Ferrari, which is quite a difference, to be honest. And this does have less power than both of them, which is something we'll get onto when we get onto the track. But yeah, I think this car's better looking than the two of them personally, and I prefer the look of the interior as well, be it because it's got a screen in the middle or because the rev counter's clear and precise, and I also like the accent of the green around it to kind of give it a flavour of the hybrid technology that it does have in it, because the hybrid technology in this is better than the other two, whereas the McLaren's is sort of the same as this. It can last longer on its batteries than it can in the McLaren, and the Ferrari you can't run it on solely on the electric power itself at all. The Ferrari has used the technology to make the driving experience better, not to make it a greener car, which I guess you could say is a bit more, useful in terms of track performance, but in terms of road use, again, a Porsche is trumping the competition. But in terms of the track, all three of the cars are pretty much different in every way. So yeah, we're going to take it onto the track and see what this car can do. Welcome everybody to Yas Marina Full. We're going to take this car around on the first lap and talk through it on the second lap. So all three cars have their own distinct advantage in terms of performance on the track, or on any track really. And this car's advantage is the fact that it has the best acceleration. Both the Ferrari and the McLaren do 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds and 0 to 100 in 5.2. This will do 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds and 0 to 100 in 4.9. So yeah, it's not a big margin, but it's big enough to certainly give this car the advantage up to 100 mile an hour. And yeah, that's somewhat down to the fact it's all-wheel drive, but also down to the fact that it has its higher torque. It has 166 pounds-feet of torque more than both of them, and despite the fact that it does have less power than both of them, it has 16 horsepower less than the McLaren and 76 horsepower less than the Ferrari. But like I said, thanks to that torque and the all-wheel drive system, it beats them on the line, off the line, and up to 100 mile an hour. But like I said, it also weighs more than both the cars, so it doesn't handle as well as either of them. Though the Ferrari does handle the best out of the lot. But the McLaren has the highest top speed at 250 mile an hour, whereas the Ferrari will do 218 and this will do 214. So yeah, like I said, all three have their own distinct advantage. The McLaren is the top speed, Ferrari has the handling, and this has the acceleration. So it's all really what you want out of a car, really. Obviously an accelerating car like this, a fast accelerating car like this, would be handy on a track with a lot of corners. The McLaren would be best with a track that has plenty of big straights, and the Ferrari would be best in a track that's kind of in between, really, because its handling will help, but also it's higher top speed than this car, and the fact that it's not exactly slow in terms of acceleration would also prove an advantage. Personally, I prefer this one out of the three, but the Ferrari isn't all that far behind, and I'm not a massive fan of the McLaren. It just doesn't have as much going for it as this or the Ferrari does. So yeah, in conclusion, this Porsche is fast, it's well ahead of its time in terms of technology, and easily ahead of the other two in terms of technology as well, because it uses its hybrid system to not only to a more environmentally friendly aspect, but it also has way more torque than the other two as well. I guess that comes down to the fact that it does also have a V8, but so then again so does the McLaren, but it is a smaller V8 nonetheless. And yeah, this is also a car that also set production lap records, be it on Laguna Seca or the Nürburgring. So yeah, this is a car that can also work on the track and on the road, and that kind of frankly gives it the edge on the other two. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.